You are watching Paranormal Zone TV, a live podcast. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to give the show a like. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to Paranormal Zone TV. Thanks so much for being here with us tonight. I'm so excited. We have a great show and we have a great guest tonight. I'm really honored to have her on the show. Her name is Maria Manalo, and she is an author and she is an award-winning screenwriter. She's a travel photographer. She's a creative nonfiction author of supernatural suspense novels and anthologies. With that, let's bring Anna on.
Hi, good
Hey,
evening.
Anna. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. So excited to have you. You have so many wonderful books. And they're all scary. You've got like 15 of them, and I would love to have you for every one of them. They're
Oh, thank
fabulous.
you.
Oh my God. Anyway, so tonight we're going to talk about your book, Haunted Heirlooms. So before we start, would you please tell the viewers about yourself?
Okay, actually, it's interesting how I began kind of this voyage that I'm doing into the paranormal. This all started when I was just a very small child. I was a toddler. I was born and raised in the Philippines. And my father actually encountered something that some of you or most of you are familiar with, which is the Mothman. Um, my father was born and raised in the Philippines. When they got married, he and my mother had moved into a townhouse, a two-story affair, which was relatively brand new, and it was built right near what you would call a creek. It looked to me like a river, but then when you're a child, everything looks big. And that's where his encounters began. It was from his uh, window. He was also a writer like myself. And he would see this creature, which was winged. It was about 9 feet tall, from what I understand from my mother and all the other relatives that had also seen it. This used to infest the property at dusk, and my father would be one of the few people that saw it. My mother actually had not seen it until much later on. It's been several months. I grew up in a paranormal household. Shortly after that, we moved out. My father actually tragically committed suicide because of this creature that he felt would take his soul. Um, we moved into my grandmother's. Unfortunately, whatever it was that was infesting the house followed us. We were only about 3 miles away. My grandmother's home was built on a foundation that had not been looked into as to what the land was. Later on, they found out there were bones of Japanese soldiers that littered the property. They found it in the backyard and everything else. So we had one layering on of one infestation to the other. And that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a position of a writer who actually had some rather interesting paranormal experiences, pretty intense ones early on in life. I moved on to become a MUFON investigator, the Mutual UFO Network, that was now taking us into 2008. Was involved in investigating the Bucks County flap for those of you who are into UFOs. I do have a first book called Portal that delves into some of the cases that I handled, which were on land, actually. It wasn't something that was 1,000 feet up in the air, it was more right there. We had all kinds of creatures that were encountered by local populace in Bucks County, where I live here in Pennsylvania. That takes us to the present time. I wrote several screenplays, pitched them in Hollywood, and at this point decided I would turn some of them into a novel. So when I retired early as a school counselor in 2020, that's when I started writing these things. And one of the things with one of the books has to do with the antiques that I purchased from certain dealers in New England, where I'm originally from, after I moved from the Philippines. And this is what this book is about. It's about those antique dealers that finally disclosed their experiences with haunted objects, or what they felt were haunted objects. And if you read this book, you will realize it is true.
Oh my God. I had no idea about your background. Did you ever write a book on that? About your
I wrote a
experience?
little bit. I'd say that every writer, sometime in their career, either at the very beginning or towards the end, writes something that's autobiographical. So Portal was partially also covering some of the experiences I had as a child. So the book is an anthology, but just like Haunted Heirlooms, the first story touches upon the beginnings of my own personal paranormal experiences, which is the one where my father was involved.
Did you ever? So, okay, we won't get into that now, but I want you to come back and let's talk
Okay.
about that. I would love to hear your story. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, yes. All right, so let's start. All right, so let me go to this. Our first object is let me get rid of this. The first object is the queen chair,
Yeah, the wing chair.
the wing chair, yes.
Yeah.
Here it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, this one is actually my own personal account. And as I mentioned before, I usually start with a personal account. It seems to pull people in when it's something that someone actually, the person themselves, the writer, has experienced it. So I use that as a touchstone to begin the anthology, the series of stories that I have in this book. This happened in the mid 80s, early 80s. I was living in a dorm at the time that was an all girls dorm. I can't really disclose the name of the university, but it's a small one in Connecticut. Um, I had a fascination for antiques, but I couldn't afford them for simple reason. I was only basically a student. I was working part-time at a hospital during the weekends, but for the most part, I was a full-time student. So what happened there is we used to go to flea markets, since some of the antique stores were very expensive, of course. We would go thrifting, as some people would call it. And a few friends of mine would go with me who had the same interest. Dorms back in the day, you would just buy whatever you found and, outfitted the room. Or, at least you had to bring your stereo in, your TV set, little refrigerator. But the rest of it, I chose to outfit with things that were of interest to me. And I was looking for a desk. I wasn't looking for a wing chair at the time. The desk that they gave us that came with the dorm was just your basically presswood desk, and I wanted something a little bit more creative. As we were looking through this market, this swap meet, as you would call it in California, I spotted something from the distance, and it was a beautiful wing chair. It was a Queen Anne wing chair, which is a certain style. And of course, it was covered in fabric, and the fabric was very beautiful. I, checked it out, looked at it very closely, and decided this was perfect for my dorm room. It would add a little bit of touch of class, to an otherwise shabby dorm
Yeah.
room. Yeah. Or so I thought at the time. It was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. My friend Dave sat down on it and he was testing to see if, one of the legs would fall off. It didn't. So I then proceeded to ask the guy who was selling it how much it was. And, sometimes you go into a flea market, you never know what you're going to find. And this was a bargain. It was $36.
Are you serious?
Back in the 80s, that might not mean,
Oh my
right
God.
now, that might not mean too much, but back in the 80s, it was still, but still much cheaper because this is actually a sound piece of furniture. It was not junk at all. It was in perfect condition. There was no stains on the fabric. Everything was intact. The wood had this kind of like a beautiful design on it. So it was just great. So, because my friend Dave had a Beetle at the time, one of those VW Beetles, the
Yeah.
vintage one, well, it wasn't vintage back then, he volunteered to take it if I bought it, and off it went. And we went into my dorm, and everything was nice and peaceful for a couple of nights. And then I recall, from what I recall, I was in the library, and I stayed there until close to closing. Um, Took the shuttle because my dorm happened to be the furthest on campus at the time. Um, and then when I got off, the room advisor was standing there waiting for someone. And there were a couple of girls next to her, they were all co-eds in their bathrobes or night gear, whatever, because it was close to midnight. And they had this look on their face. And I stepped off the bus, said hello. Oh, wait, we were waiting for you, they said to me. And, did you know that you have a guest that's not signed in into the register? And I just looked at them. It didn't really quite compute what they were trying to say to me. Later on, they elaborated on what happened, but I didn't know at the time what happened. And the room advisor insisted I had, did you expect a guest? You have a guest upstairs, your sister, a friend. I don't have anyone. I didn't sign anyone in because I don't have a guest. Yes, you do. Okay. So I went up the elevator with them. I was obviously very puzzled and concerned in a way because I didn't want anybody breaking into my room. So we get out of the elevator, and there were a few girls standing in the hallway. They had a look on their face. I walked up to the room. The door was ajar. And so I said, who broke into my room? Someone broke into my room. And the room advisor said, no, I had to open the door to see who it was. I knocked first. No one answered. But then she said she smelled cigarette smoke, or what she thought was cigarette smoke.
Mm.
And it's puzzling because earlier on, my friend Denise, who lived right next door to me, found the door ajar, and walked in, and she smelled perfume. I think it was, do you recall L'air du Temps?
Oh God, yes. Oh my God, yes. I
She
used to
smelled.
wear it.
Okay, so that's really nice perfume when you think about it. But that's what she smelled, and she thought, well, she doesn't wear that. No one she knows wears that. It's pretty expensive, from what I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Even back then, I'm sure it's probably, I don't even know how much now, $500 an ounce or something.
If they even still make it, that's an antique.
Yeah, it's an antique perfume. So I was really puzzled. I kept trying to tell the RA, the room advisor, I have no guests. And a couple of people walked in, and they said, well, she walked out of your room, and she was wearing high heels, and she had like a fancy dress on, like she was getting ready to party, but it was outdated.
Oh my God.
And I said, okay, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have anybody here. So they kind of had to let it go. And, the room advisor retired for the night. I retired into the room. Nothing else happened until about a week later. I myself was sitting at my desk studying in the dorm room. I normally didn't, as a matter of course. I couldn't concentrate in the dorm because it was either way too quiet or way too noisy. And I needed to go someplace else to study to make a separation. But this time, that night, I actually stayed and sat at my desk. I never did find a nice desk, but I was now sitting right next to the wing chair, which is propped right underneath my window. And as I'm studying, I'm smelling cigarette smoke.
Oh wow.
And I turned to the chair, and I had a feeling about something or someone looking at me. And the first thing that came to my head was there was something at the window.
Mm.
And this is only because, from childhood, that Mothman creature that used to, you know, perch itself on the second floor window.
Damn. Scary.
And there was nothing, or maybe someone was smoking. I thought to myself, I finally stood up, looked out the window. There was nobody out there. It was just dark. But I got this really strange feeling I wasn't by myself in the room.
Did you try to communicate with it at all?
Oh, heavens, no, I wasn't into that.
Oh.
I only write about them, but I don't.
Oh, you didn't have the urge to say, "Who are you? Who was in this room?"
No.
Really?
No, I did not. And to tell you the truth, it really truly creeped me out. The feeling creeped me out. I had a coffee cup. I had a mug, I remember, that was sitting at my desk towards the wing chair. The wing chair is right next to the desk, and here's the window. I stepped out to go to the bathroom, and I know the mug was right there at the edge of my desk. When I came back, the mug was sitting on the windowsill.
Oh boy. Were you scared?
At that point, I started wondering about what they were asking me about the week before, about someone being in the room. And I don't actually, you move into a dorm, you don't really know the history of who was there before.
Right.
So because I knew the building was old, it probably was a nun, because the other wing of the building, not to give it away, but the other wing of this L-shaped building was a cloister. It had cloistered nuns.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, you were at a
And
Catholic university. You were at a Catholic
now,
one.
yeah,
Yeah, you were.
not all of them, though, were cloistered nuns, as I was to discover.
Wow.
Okay. So you got to sit and get seated for this one. Well, you're seated. I'm glad you are. Okay. I was once again, this time, I got to the point where I started having apprehensions about going back to the room, because people around me in the hallway started telling me there's definitely a woman down the hall that disappears into your room. She floats.
Oh my God.
Into your room, floats out of your room. And the one said, oh no, she had high heels on. I saw her one time. She had pointy high heels, like an old-fashioned style. And the one said she had flappers on.
Oh, really?
The 1920s
Yeah.
when they used to dance and big band. And she had that, and someone said she had it. There were all kinds of different things. And I said, yeah, you're fooling me, right? You're not being said. And they were like, no, we wish we were. We're not fooling you.
Wow.
So finally, the straw hit the fan, so to speak. I came back from the library, and this is now a few weeks later. So now I'm getting this feeling every time I come into the room. At this time, there was a bunch of people in the hallway, and they were really now very concerned. And both room advisors, the one from downstairs, we're on the highest floor, the one from downstairs and the one on my floor, were both talking. Elevator opens, and here I am with a circle of people around me.
Oh, man. Wow.
And they said, well, there's a problem. There's a problem now with the woman who's your guest. So one of the nuns in the other wing was jogging. Okay. And as she was jogging, there's a parking lot right outside the building. It's a long parking lot because there's professors on the ground floor that have their offices there. And the way it's situated is that, when you come in the elevator, you could see some of their offices on the ground floor if you needed to consult with someone, etc. Well, this woman was jogging. She knew one of the professors on my wing, and she was jogging to go there. and it was late in the afternoon. They were keeping office hours in the evening. A woman is standing in her way. She sees her, the lamps are coming on. She sees her silhouette, and suddenly she feels someone hit her leg as she's jogging by.
No.
So she had a welt.
Wow.
So I had to go downstairs, go to the professor's office to meet with this nun who actually was sitting on one of his chairs, and she had a red welt.
Oh
And she
my.
said there's a woman that hit her that fitted the description of one of or two of the women in my dorm hallway. She was wearing a
Wow.
dress, she had high heels on, she came from nowhere
Oh man.
and just hit her on
Uh,
the leg.
oh my God. Real. So was it an object that this ghost had used, or was it her hands?
I don't know. It wasn't the shape of a hand.
Mm.
It looked like she had some kind of maybe a bat
Oh my
or
God.
something. It was so I was asked, we need to have you meet with the chaplain. Yeah, this is a Roman Catholic school. And I had to meet with the
Yeah.
so it came to the attention of one of the deans, and I had to have a meeting with them, and they asked me point blank, do you think your room is haunted?
And
So finally, I had to think about that. And I said, well, someone has to intervene. I wouldn't know what to do if it was. I'm trying to avoid the place now. And seriously, I was. Because when I worked on the weekends at this mental hospital, I was majoring in psychology at the time. I was working at a mental hospital as a per diem. They would lock us into the unit, but that's not material to the story. I purposefully stayed and slept there because I was concerned about the room.
Okay, let me ask you this. So
Yes.
you were working at a mental hospital?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long were you working there?
Oh, at least 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nothing ever came home with you or into your room until you bought the chair.
Yes.
Okay, so then I was thinking maybe somebody, a spirit from the mental hospital might have attached to you or followed you back to your dorm. But you said this didn't happen until you brought the chair in. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
So there was a coincidence with all the occurrences because I was hired there and I'd been working there for at least 3 months since the beginning of the semester. So, and nothing ever, not that something wouldn't follow me later on, but the chair seems to have an occupant.
wow.
So then I was waiting for someone to come into the room to bless it.
How about
And of course they
exercise
had to,
it?
I'm sorry.
How about exercising it?
I don't know. So it was taking a few days, then it went into weeks because they had to get approval from such
Oh,
and such and whatever
Bishop.
else. And finally, what we decided to do, and it's funny what happens when you're 18 years old because your decision making isn't all there.
Yeah.
One of my friends claimed she was a psychic,
Oh, no kidding.
and she offered to hold a seance.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What happened? Oh, I love it.
So to make a long story short, which I'm trying to cover the book, but this is interesting.
Oh, I love it.
Speaking. So she offered to make a seance in another place because we were now concerned something else would happen at the dorm. And nobody wanted me kicked out because of it. So I contacted Dave, who was in the men's dorm across the way on the other side of campus. He came promptly with his VW as soon as all his classes were done, and he hauled that chair out of my room and then back into the back of the Beetle.
Oh man.
Okay, so of course
Yeah.
the room advisor was okay. Well, we'll hope that solves the problem, and Some people were skeptics. They didn't believe in things like that. And the students were, some of them were laughing, some of them were relieved. We get it to the beach house. Now, you have to understand this university. They allow students to live off campus, as some universities all do, but they can have rental in a beach area, series of beach houses that face the ocean, Long Island Sound in this
Oh
case,
my God,
if they're
really?
majoring in art or English.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, I was majoring in
Oh.
psychology, so I didn't qualify. So my friend Dave said, let's take this to Trey and Vince's apartment, the beach house, and we'll hold the seance there. That's far enough away. It's off campus. They can't say you didn't try and remove it. I said, that's good. He takes it there. He plants it right next to their little fireplace. And it's a pretty beach house. There's all kinds of windows in the front with a little porch. And it faces, you step out and you're right on the beach.
Nice.
Okay. But it's so cold because it's now approaching winter. The first semester was about to end. So it was getting cold. You imagine it's, late November going into December. What they did was, in order to insulate all the windows facing the beach, is they put plastic. They taped plastic, sheets and sheets of plastic.
Oh, wow.
Just to describe to you the atmosphere of what was going to happen. They taped plastic all over the entire area of windows facing out to the beach. So in effect, when you looked out, you couldn't see anything because the plastic was like, what do they call it? Translucent. It wasn't transparent.
Oh,
so
God.
it was all cloudy, right?
Yeah.
But it was so cold. What are you going to see anyway, right?
Yeah.
So there's the chair. And then my friend said, okay, her name was Joy. Okay, we're all going to go there on this night. I'm going to bring all my stuff. So she brought a candle. She brought salt. She brought holy water. Okay.
Yeah.
She took the table that the guys used. It was, a shared apartment. Put it right in the middle of this table. Put the holy water right next to the candle, and then put salt all around the candle and the holy water. And then she started by saying, let's all hold hands. We shut all the lights off except for the candle. And she wanted to know the name of whoever it was. Will you communicate with us? You asked me if I communicated with it. Well, she was, I don't know, something about when you're a sociology major, I guess you delve into that. And then she started talking to the chair, come into the room, and then so on and so forth. And she had a Ouija board on the one side facing her. So she instructed us to take our hands off and start touching what they call a planchette.
Yeah.
And as the planchette was moving, it wasn't really making too many movements. She said, let's use a glass, like a drinking glass.
Yeah.
So then we used the drinking glass, and she turned it upside down. She was asking it questions. Finally, instead of saying yes or no, it pointed to the word G. Then it pointed to O. And she said, go. So everybody's looking around. What does that mean?
They want you to go.
And then, yes, it started pointing the A, W, A, what? Go away. She read it. As soon as she put that together,
did she run?
Yelled out, it's saying, go away. The glass just flew.
Oh my God.
The room. The fire from the fireplace started extinguishing, like something was trying to blow it away.
Oh my God. That's fabulous. I love it.
And
I
everybody
love
is
it.
looking at the hallway where the guys, have their bedrooms. They're thinking something is going to come down the hallway. Well,
Uh,
it didn't come down the hallway. The
oh.
wind blew all the plastic off the windows,
Uh,
and all the windows blew open.
oh.
And it extinguished the candle. We were all in pitch dark. The fireplace completely, it was all just smoke. And we ran out of there. You won't believe
Oh.
how fast we were running out of there.
What an experience. That's amazing. That's
It's scary.
do you
It's
know how
very
many
scary.
do you know how many paranormal investigators would love to have that experience? Oh my God, that's a dream. That's a paranormal dream.
I,
Wow.
it was pretty powerful. Whatever it
Oh
was,
my
did
God.
not want us there.
So so what happened to the chair?
So Dave and Trey ran back in. There were all these men running ahead of us, right? And Joy said to me, "You need to get that chair out of there." So the two men ran back in, dragged the chair by its legs
Mm.
down into the sand and out towards the surf. And they plunked it down in such a way that the waves would take it away. They didn't want to
Wow.
have anything more to do with it. Trey was afraid to sleep there. Okay, the other guy, Vince, he was like, what did you guys just do?"
Mm. Well, did it go away? Did the waves they could have burnt it. They could have maybe burnt it.
They didn't. They left it there. They wanted the trash people to take it. And
Oh.
it was interesting because in order to take it to the trash, they had to take it back inland towards the side of the house in between the beach houses and deposit it in there. They didn't want to touch it. They wanted the waves to take it away.
Really?
The
So,
next morning it was still there. The next morning it was still, eventually it did disappear. And what they told me, because I didn't come back to the beach house for a while, what they told me is that maybe the trash people finally did take it because the landlord saw there was a broken chair. They're hoping it was broken, and it was gone.
oh, interesting. Wow. Well, that's quite, I love that story. I absolutely love it. Oh my God.
It
That
was
is,
something to live through because it was
oh,
actually a disruption. We were trying as best we could to proceed with everything. And by the time the priest got there and he blessed the room, there was really nothing in the room. I could feel that whatever it was had lifted, was gone.
so it was clear after that.
It was clear after that. He didn't even have to come in, but I let him in anyway because they were gonna,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm surprised that nothing from where you were came
Mm-hmm.
home with you. I'm surprised at that.
Mm-hmm. The hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know much about the history of the hospital. All I know is that it was probably 4 floors, and they had, I think, quite a multitude of patients at one time,
Mm.
and they were all medicated. But
Oh.
nothing told me that it was a very old building. It looked to me like it was probably built probably in the 70s, I would
Mhm.
say.
Oh, I guess you can't say the name of it, huh?
No, no, I
Oh,
can't. I
okay.
can't even name a lot of people would know what university it would be
No,
because,
I'm talking about the
yeah,
hospital.
the hospital. No, I can't name it.
Oh, okay.
But it's a small one. It was a mental hospital.
Does it still exist?
Yeah, it's still there.
It does, really?
Yeah, the hospital is still there. The beach house is still there. The dorm is no longer at the very edge of the campus. There's buildings all around it now. It's not as isolated. But there's still nuns on the other wing.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is the university?
I could be mistaken, but I think it was since 1907, but it used to be all male.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
used to be just all. Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Wow, that I absolutely love that story.
Thank you.
Absolutely love that. I love it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let me go. Let's do the furniture room.
The furniture room, it's actually a little different from all the other ones because the trunk itself that was purportedly haunted. Let me explain what the trunk looks like. It's a trunk that is very ornate, looks like something that came out of a Spanish galleon,
Mm.
is the only description I could give you. And I remember passing by it when I visited this antique store because they had trouble trying to figure out what to do with it because of not so much what was attached to it, but what was visiting the back of the store because of it. And this is a very unusual type of visitation. And here's how it started. They had moved everything from a previous antique store into this area in Vermont. This was an couple that specialized in antiques for years. And in my travels, I used to go to Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, and eventually Maine, looking for these little treasures. Um, one of my friends, actually, from the previous story, his father was an antique dealer. And his story is at the end of the book about what happened. And it's a barrister's bookcase. But this particular one with the furniture store, um, the piece of furniture in question that enticed this entity happened to have casks of wine inside. It's a trunk. When you open it, you will find bottles and bottles of very old wine. We're talking probably 200 years old.
Wow. Mm.
So when they were selling it, they weren't selling the trunk per se. They were selling the contents. But no one knew those contents unless they came into the store, unless they talked to the husband or the wife or the main manager of the store to see what was inside this trunk.
Mm.
So they move into this area, they take this trunk, which is very heavy, you could just imagine, with all these bottles of wine, and they put it in the back room. They figure if somebody was interested in something like vintage wine, they would show it in private in the back of the store.
Yeah.
In the back of the store, there is a window. So it was right underneath a window, okay, that
Mm-hmm.
looked out into an alleyway,
Mm.
which is
Wow.
another interesting feature of this store. They were just getting settled in. She had her full-time manager at the store to manage things. When things started to happen, and the odd part about this is that I think it's the location that's haunted.
Really? Okay, so
Yes.
okay, so there was this so you have this trunk.
Hmm.
The trunk was in the antique store.
Yes, they
Okay.
transported it with them.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so what was happening with this trunk?
Nothing at first until there was a particular entity that they were seeing in the alleyway. It was a
Oh,
gentleman that was in silhouette.
really?
And it happened to be standing. There's like a little divot in the back of the store, like a canal. You know, when it rains, the
Uh-huh.
divot fills up. They see him when it's raining.
Oh, really? Only when it's
It,
raining?
in the dark. Yeah.
Huh.
So it almost like you could see the rain coming down on him. You could see the moisture on this
Oh
coat
my, that's
that he's
weird.
wearing.
I've never
Yeah.
heard that before. So the rain was making his image show.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's a first for me.
It's very bizarre.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
When they drew my attention to this, I kept going back and forth. Do you think it's the trunk? And in the final analysis, without giving it away, this particular spirit or entity,
Yeah.
and I'll call it a he because it sounds to me like it was a he, not a
Uh-huh.
she, was somehow attached to the trunk. But where the trunk came from, they were not there because they moved from another antique store. Nothing was happening in that antique store. It was the move into this store that precipitated this thing. And
Hmm.
people would see a fire. Sometimes people across the street, there was a coffee house across
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah.
And at night, the coffee house was open until, I don't know, 7 or 8 at night. And they would say, "Are you aware that the antique store seems to have a fire?" And the manager who would lock up at night would, say, "Hello, I'm going to get some coffee. I got to stay up for my drive home, yada, yada, yada." The guy who's selling her the coffee would say, "Hey, look, what happened? Did you leave the kitchen thing on? You better make sure." She's looking, and it looks like there's tongues of fire.
Oh
There's
no.
smoke coming out of the back of the store, the alley.
That's crazy.
And people would run there, in between the buildings, because this is downtown.
Yeah.
In between the buildings, they would run and look, and there was nothing back there.
Wow.
And
So go ahead.
yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, do you know what the age of the trunk was?
They said it was a Spanish galleon trunk,
Oh, that old. So
that old.
what do the wine bottles look like? Do they look like ancient wine bottles from,
They said when they found the wine bottles, they were extremely dusty, obviously.
yeah.
They were all Spanish wine. So Rioja, that kind of stuff. Someone had put them all in there for safekeeping. I mean, they were a fortune, believe me. By the time they did sell the stuff, it was a fortune.
Okay, don't you think it's kind of strange that they left the bottles of wine in that trunk?
I know. I kind of wondered it, and this, of all the stories in this one, this is the one that puzzles me the most.
You know what? I have a feeling that those wine bottles might have something, a spirit attached to them. So they may have taken one out and things started
Mm-hmm.
happening. So they just
Mm-hmm.
put it right back in.
It could be, and you have a good point because you know how it is. Every time you make a change, every time you
Activity.
renovate a house or something
Yeah.
else, in this case, maybe they did take a bottle out
Yeah.
because they were trying to sell the collection. So they
Mhm.
were probably taking, maybe somebody decided they wanted that particular bottle and they sold it.
And something happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or they, another thing is too, they don't want to be separated,
that's true.
you know.
I think so. Yeah.
That's very paranormal. Oh my God.
It's just so
Oh,
bizarre that
yes. Oh my God. Uh,
when I kept asking the owner, at the time she was very flustered to tell me, whatever you do, don't disclose the name of this. I mean, they're retired now. Um, don't disclose because we're trying to get rid of it, yada yada yada. And they really sincerely believe it had nothing to do with the trunk or the wine inside. They think it's because of the building they occupied and whatever was out in the alleyway.
okay, so were there any other objects in this antique store that they had problems with?
No, just that.
Okay, then it was
Just
the
that.
trunk and the contents. I think it's the
Yes.
bottles.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my. So whatever happened to it?
So they finally did sell the trunk with the wine intact, and whatever it was not seen anymore. And they don't know to this day if they should have forewarned the person who bought it, because they were afraid whatever it was would follow the trunk. But they said that, everything was fine again at the antique store. People were
Oh
not
my
concerned
God.
about, they even almost lost the manager because she didn't want to stay there at night
Oh,
anymore.
she was scared.
She was scared. It was just, she was alone. They would leave, and she had an assistant. The assistant would leave, and she was there to lock up.
Oh God, that would have been fun if they had done a seance.
Yeah.
That would have been fun to find out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
oh my God. See, that's fun for me. I love that stuff. Absolutely love it. Okay, do you want to go on to, let's see. Okay, so this one is, okay, we did that one, Queen Air. We did that.
Did you want me to talk about the lithograph?
Yeah, let's go to that one. Let me go find that one. Hold on. Oops. Oh, wrong one. Hold on.
Yeah, it's
Urn.
on
I
page.
got it. I got
Oh,
it.
the urn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm showing a picture of her. I almost did a blue and white one because it was
Oh,
right next
okay.
to the one that I'm showing,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it's not.
Okay. Yeah. The urn came from a couple that I'd known for a long time. Actually, the store is still there, but let's keep it vague. It's in Massachusetts, in the Boston area. They lived at the time in the suburbs of Boston, and they traveled quite a bit to Europe to get the antiques that they got. Well, they they also like to collect what people call chinoiserie, which is blue and white. It's not pottery, it's porcelain. I wish I had brought one with me. I could have shown to you. Um, but blue and white porcelain usually uh, is either a ginger jar or a vase, or it could be the shape of animals like a cat or an elephant. And they're prevalent in Asia. The Chinese used to create them and fashion them in blue and white, and they kept things called ginger jars where they
Yeah.
save raw ginger
Yeah.
inside. Um, the couple loved antiques, but the wife in particular loved collecting urns, and she liked blue and white porcelain urns. So she had a collection of them in her living room, and they would sit all around her furniture, around her sofa, and when she entertained guests, she would point out where this came from, where that came from, yada, yada, yada. Well, they traveled to Europe, and there she found this huge urn, and she fell in love with it. So after a short contract with the antique dealer there, they had it shipped directly to the United States. And there it was one morning, doorbell rang, and the gentleman at the door said, "This is really heavy."
Mm.
It was, I forget, it was probably 2 feet high.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And the dog, the family dog, whom they called Mops, it's a huge dog. I think it was one of those Bernese mountain dogs. I don't know if you know how big they are. They're like 150 pounds,
Oh my God.
125 pounds.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The dog was just besides himself. He was barking, barking, barking at the guy who was delivering it. The guy left it finally at the doorstep. Okay. And shortly, it was brought into the house, and it ended up right near the patio door inside the house. And this is where things take a turn. And
Mm.
you have to understand, I had to change names of people. So these are not the actual names of the people. I mean, they
Hey,
told me their story,
this the
but
story is fabulous. We don't care about their names, Anna.
oh, okay. All right. So the dog finally calmed down. They had a live-in servant. The live-in servant came around to unwrap the box. She was instructed right before dinner, do me a favor, unwrap the box, add it on to the existing collection in the living room where there were these all these other blue and white things, porcelain. So she came around from the kitchen, out the patio doors, and the way the house was situated was the kitchen had its own set of doors leading to the patio.
Mhm.
And in the patio, you had a garden. And then when you walked past the garden, there was another set of French doors, and there was the box. So she opens that patio door coming from, from the outside and goes inside, and she starts opening the box. She had some trouble opening it, goes back to the kitchen, looks for a pair of scissors, comes back around, and suddenly the box is opening. There's an area that has been scored open,
Oh my
like,
God.
right? And the dog is in the kitchen. The dog is not by the box.
Poor
And
doggy.
she's like, oh, okay, I must have opened it. Maybe she forgot she had tried to open it. So she's opening it, and unravels the whole thing. Smells this really musty smell. And then she was going to clean it because she was instructed to open it, take it out. It was dusty. She was going to clean it. She discovers that she couldn't open the top.
Mm.
She's prying it open, trying to pry it open, trying to pry it open, and it just won't budge.
Mm.
So she just pulls the box container out from under it, and there it sits. Takes the container, walks out. Next thing you know, the dog comes around. And by now they're having dinner, okay? And the family is all home. The daughter is home from college. Something is circling the urn.
What do you mean something?
Something is circling. I'm going to look for the book. Let me see. Did I bring I brought the book.
What
Here
was
is the cover.
I showed them the cover.
Something is circling the urn.
Oh, you have
And
the urn in
this
the
is how the
front.
urn, this is actually a pretty accurate depiction of the urn. Okay.
Oh.
And you could see the lid here. You can't really see the body there,
I hear, wait a minute.
but you could see something circling the urn.
All right, hold on for a second. Hold on. I can uh hey, where's that book? Okay, here. All right, I've got the book. All right, let me
Mm-hmm.
enlarge that.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, huh? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm gonna get it really big. Let me close this over and show them this. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, I got enlargement of it. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Is that
That's how I described it to the artist, according to what the maid saw. And she could not figure out what the heck it was, but it scared the crap out of her. It wasn't an animal from the patio, because the patio is completely enclosed. It's like an internal courtyard. So, in other words, it's walled in on two sides. And then you've got the French doors coming from the kitchen, going into the patio. And then there's two walls completely walled in. And then it goes directly into the drawing room, which is where this thing was sitting when it was in a box. So when it was taken out of the box, there was something that was circling it,
Oh God,
and it was jet black.
You know what? I see the picture up close. I didn't see the glowing eye, the black figure, the hands
Mm-hmm.
with the long nails, and
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't see
yeah,
that. You
yeah,
can't see that in the
yeah.
on the cover. Wow. Oh my
So
God.
so the
Oh
maid
God.
was the maid was terrified. She ran to inform the mistress of the house what was in the urn, and the woman said, Don't tell me you were able to open it because I couldn't open it when I purchased it."
Oh my God. So
And she said, "No, I didn't open it. I wasn't able to open it." "Then what are you trying to tell me?" Well, the dog was going crazy.
mm,
So they dash to the urn. Okay, they're standing up from dinner time and they look at the urn. There's the dog barking at it, but they didn't see what the maid saw. So they thought she was superstitious.
oh, and the maid saw it.
And the maid saw it.
Oh my God. So what did they do with this urn?
Well, they didn't know what to do with it until the other daughter, came home from college. And she had some theories about what it might be. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
maid, on the other hand, barricaded herself in the little bedroom off of the kitchen, and she put crosses all over the
Oh,
walls.
that poor thing. Oh my
She was
God.
petrified.
Oh, I guess.
They consulted an outside woman who knew a little bit about, shamanic healing and things of that
Yeah.
nature. She was trying to explain to them that whatever it was protecting the urn from outside people.
Really?
So the question that arose was, what was inside the urn?
Yeah. But
I can't
oh,
give it away.
oh, oh, is it in the book?
Yeah, it's in the
Oh,
book.
okay. Okay. I,
Yeah,
I totally understand that. I
yeah,
couldn't
no
fit.
problem.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's
They couldn't take it to work. They couldn't take it to the antique store. For the same reason that with the furniture store, they were, how do you get that thing out of there? And all the sightings that are happening, it would scare the employees.
oh man. That is, where is this urn now?
The urn is now gone.
Oh, it
From
is.
what I understand, they took it finally to the antique store. And I don't know who purchased it or how they got rid of it. She told me it was just gone.
Oh,
It was out of the house.
oh, wow. So that would be really interesting to see what happened to it and if they ever got the lid off.
Yeah. And the urn, I told you it was in the drawing room, correct?
Yeah.
Somehow that heavy object made its way up to the second floor of the house.
No way.
So when they were asleep and she opened the door, she heard this humming. She didn't know where it was coming from. Suddenly, everything was a vacuum. Like you couldn't hear the crickets out the window. You couldn't hear anything.
Oh
This was
my.
summertime. You couldn't, everything was a vacuum. It suddenly got very silent. She opened the bedroom door and there was the urn in the
Oh,
hallway.
oh God. Uh, oh,
They
is that?
even took the dog
Oh,
and hid them with the maid in her bedroom.
oh my God. Oh my God, what a story. Oh wow. Now, this antique store, is this the only uh haunted object that they did acquire in the
This is the
store?
only one that they told me about.
Oh, that they told you
I
about.
don't know if it's the only one that's haunted, but this is the one they were willing to share. And they were very strict about, that because they're still in business.
Oh yeah,
They
I can
didn't want to
understand.
share too much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh God, that is scary. Wow. That's crazy. What a crazy story. Well, I bet they were glad to get rid of that.
And Noreen, the other part of this too is
Yeah.
I wonder, and I asked them this, when you bought this urn,
Yeah.
I know that you like blue and white, but I also personally collect blue and white porcelain. And I told her, as a matter of course, always open. I don't care what it is. If it has a lid, I open and I look inside.
Uh-huh.
It never dawned on her she would have difficulty opening it. And I said, that's a clue, because if it's sealed, it's hiding something.
They want it to stay inside the urn. They don't want it out.
Correct. It was
Oh.
sealed. At the time when she was looking at it at the antique store in Europe, and I think it was Budapest. I'm pretty sure she got it from Budapest.
Oh, man.
Okay, the guy was offering it at a really nice price, and you always wonder about these bargains.
Absolutely.
She was so enamored with it that she never thought, let me open the darn thing. When I inspect, not that I know anything, okay, but just I think to myself, okay, what if I want to put something in there?
Yeah.
You'd open it and take a look at what's inside.
Oh my God. So there, yes, something inside. They sealed it so it wouldn't come out. I wonder what the hell it was. Oh my God. Oh man.
Yep.
It could, there's a story of the Dibbit box.
Yes.
Yes, where there were objects in that box. And I think there was a feather, there was a picture of a woman, and a couple of other objects that were in there. And actually, let me tell you about this for a second.
Sure, go ahead.
I did 2 shows with him, and I can't remember his name. This was years ago, and he was the owner of the original box. Anna, he had the original box. He had it in a cave on his property, and then eventually he buried it. But he told me, he said, "You know what, Norene?" He said, "Let me tell you something. When I don't know if he has it anymore. I gotta contact him." He said, "Oh no, he lent it to Zach Bagans to put it in his museum." And so he said, "You know what? I have to tell you." He goes, "Norene, ever since I acquired that box, I haven't aged, and I don't get sick."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he said, "I haven't aged and I don't get sick."
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I mean, I haven't talked to him in a long time, so I don't know if Zach Bagans still has the box, or he may have sold it to Zach. I'm not sure. I have to contact him. I'd really like to know how he's doing. Anyway, that's really something. So that's what it is. They sealed an object in there. It could have been a personal item of somebody. It could be a picture. God only knows what it is. Or it could be something that is haunted and evil. They put it in there to seal it because they didn't know what to do with it. Oh my.
It reminds me of Ed and Lorraine Warren's museum, where they have to seal everything, like that Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Annabelle.
It's on tour, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what happened to the guy who had it loose?
Well, he was the first one. He with that other kid, Ryan Buell. They were taking it on tour, and Rivera. I can't remember his first name. His last name was Rivera. Yeah, he died. Dan. Dan. And so nobody knows. They haven't revealed how he died, which is fine. We don't need to know how he died, but they are still continuing to put this on display. Now, from what I heard years ago, when the things that were in that museum, and especially that Annabelle doll, Ed and Lorraine Warren put it in it was supposed to be in a sealed cabinet, and they said, "Don't ever touch this doll. Don't ever touch it." Now, I understand that when Dan was taking it on tour, that he had another box built for it actually put it inside of there. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know. There's just a conspiracy around it now. But Ed and Lorraine Warren said never to touch that doll. That's all I can tell you. And
I'd like to, if you don't mind, I'd like to add something to that and this is just hearsay. I don't know if this is true or not. Um, there was a Paracon that I attended recently, and it's probably now about 2 months ago because it was over the summer. And as I was selling my books, as I do with, Paracons, this particular Paracon was in New Jersey, and a gentleman came up to me and saw that I had a doll. It's not haunted, but it's supposed to be haunted. It's a black-eyed kid, which is a topic for another show. But this doll was kind of like sitting right next to my books, and it had black eyes. And
mm,
he says, "This reminds me of what's happening with Annabelle right now." Okay. And he said, "Well, let me tell you what happened." I said, because I said, "Well, what's happening with Annabelle? She's sealed in a case in the Warren Museum." "No, she's not." I said, "Well, where is she?" "She's on tour." I
hmm.
said, "Oh, okay. So they took the entire case and everything." "No, they took it out of the case."
Oh, he took it out of the. I thought he put another one on top of that one.
Well, this is what this gentleman is saying,
Oh
that this
my
guy was a
God.
friend of his and he met up with him. The guy had his van and he said, "So, how are you doing?" "Oh, I'm on tour. I'm taking Annabelle around with a bunch of other artifacts." And he said, "Oh," he said, "how did you get that entire case out of there?" He said, "No, it was taken out of the case and given to me on loan." And he said, this guy, and I won't mention his name, he said he peered through the back of the van. You know how the old vans have a window? He
Yeah.
looked through the back of the van, and there was Annabelle lying there right next to a potato chip bag.
Oh no. S- Is he
This
on?
guy was very excited, not in a good way, but in a way that told me he was very alarmed.
Mm,
And he said, "I cannot believe that she was taken out of the case."
I didn't know he took it out of the case.
And that
I
could be
I just
could be
heard.
why. Yeah.
Oh, so he took. Okay. I had just thought that he built another case to put around it to protect. Oh, no, well, that's really well. Me, I'm not even interested in seeing something like that. So
I'm not either.
that doesn't interest me.
I thought it was foolhardy for one, but my understanding is now it's back in its case where it's supposed to be. Because you have to do all kinds of rituals to get that in there and get it so that it's protected. It's not just the glass that's preventing it from coming out. It's a series of rituals that Ed and Lorraine had done in order to keep it.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about it. I don't know what they did, if there was any rituals or anything done. I don't know. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but that's something they should. When you do something with stuff like that, you better know what the hell you're doing. You
yeah,
know?
yep.
Oh God. All right. So I think the last one now is the lithograph.
Yeah, the lithograph is interesting because this is one where, they talk about how the devil tends to deceive. And I don't know if you believe in the devil or you believe in anything that's like an evil
Oh,
entity.
absolutely.
This guy, he's a friend of mine. When he told me this story, I was very concerned how he was recovering from the experience. So he himself had owned an antique store and they had a very thriving business. It was a very, very good business that they had. The problem with this is that it was gifted to him and his wife by a very good friend. And in retrospect, I said to him, "Sam, I think it was gifted to you guys because they were having problems. I hate to say it, they passed the problem on to you. And so they were having dinner. They had invited this couple over. And that's when they were handed this lithograph. Now, for the audience, just to explain what a lithograph is, it's actually a picture. And it's made in a way that you take these, I think they're iron, made of iron plates. You carve something into the iron, and then you put the ink on the iron carving. You turn it over and you press it onto a piece of paper.
Right.
And when you lift up the iron, then you have what in essence looks like a painting.
Right.
It's a process that was done years and years ago. I don't profess to be an expert in lithographs, but I think it was done in the 1930s and 40s. I could be wrong, but it's certainly not done anymore right now. It was a full color one in the sense that whoever made it painted different areas of the lithograph in different colors. So the clouds are blue, there's trees all around, so that's green. It's beautiful. And it's a depiction of a castle in the distance with a girl sitting in the act of swinging on a swing. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I actually have, he took a picture of it and sent it to me at the time when I was writing the book.
Oh,
so
why
that
didn't you should have sent me a picture of it? I would have showed
I'll
it.
send it to you after.
Oh, well, it's too
and
late.
I'm curious what you see.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I was afraid to look at it.
Really?
Yes, I was afraid to look at it because that is the problem with the lithograph.
Oh, I've seen them in antique stores, but I was never interested in one.
Right,
So
I'm not either. Yeah, this one he found interesting because it was unusual, but it was also a gift. So naturally, he thanked the couple. They had their dinner, and he proceeded to hang it on the wall of the
Yeah.
family room
Yeah.
because it was already framed,
Mm-hmm.
behind glass. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So nice and everything else. And then a few days later, things started to happen.
Oh no.
His parents were elderly.
Uh-huh.
From what I can recall, and it's in the book, the father had cataract surgery. So he, in essence, could see again.
Wait a minute. Oh my God, he could see again?
He had cataract
And
surgery.
oh, so he could see again. Okay, got
So
it,
he
got
could
it.
see. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So, but the strange thing is he was looking at the lithograph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he couldn't see.
Get out of here.
It's bizarre. Totally
Oh.
bizarre.
Oh, okay. So did he? Okay, so he was it absolutely blank, or he just
Absolutely blank.
Oh my God! Did it? How long did that last?
Well, he couldn't see. They had to go take him back to the doctor.
Oh my God!
And of course, the medical guy said, "Oh, maybe it's hysteria, or they have to give it a medical explanation." And they couldn't. They didn't want to be sued. They checked and looked and everything else.
Oh man!
And it was the oddest experience the father had ever had.
How long did that blindness last?
A few months.
And how did he get it back? It just came back?
They never looked at the painting again or whatever that was.
So was he the only one that looked at this painting, or did anybody else in the family look at it?
A few people were looking at it.
Uh-huh.
And they were seeing the swing this way.
Oh, no way.
The next day, the girl was swinging the other way.
No way. I,
Sam would look at this thing and it was swinging up this way.
oh
And
my,
his wife would say, yeah, well, she's supposed to be swinging upwards. No, you
oh,
told me she was swinging backwards the other
oh
day.
my God.
A lot of uncanny things were happening. Finally, he
Yeah,
took it and took it to the store
yeah.
and he hung it in the store because his wife finally told him, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Get
Oh,
that darn thing out of the house.
oh
He took it
man.
out of the house, took it into the antique shop.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is a thriving antique shop. Things started to fail.
Oh,
Their marriage was deteriorating.
oh
They were having
no.
constant arguments. The father, who was very healthy other than his eyes, his health started to fail. Then his mother's health started to fail. She came in to visit. She looked at that darn thing. She
Mm.
was so scared of it, she ran out of the store. What did you see? You said there was a girl there. Something was staring right at me, right
Oh
back at me.
my God. That's really scary.
Yeah, it's
That's
bizarre.
really
Totally.
scary.
Yeah.
So, uh, what what happened to it?
Sam took it out of the frame.
He didn't.
He rolled it up,
Uh-huh.
okay, tied it in a knot,
Yeah.
took it out to the car. And that's when it started playing with his head.
What do you mean playing with its head?
His wife calls him
Yeah.
and says to him, Sam, I thought I told you, get this thing out of the house.
Oh my God.
He
No
said, what do you
way.
mean? It's not even in the antique store. That was the second time, because the first time she told him that, she was staring right at it in its frame in the antique store.
And he had it rolled up.
And he said to her, how could it be hanging at home
Oh
in the
my.
family room when I'm staring right at it?
Oh my God.
And then
That's
a week later, he takes it down, rolls it up, right? Puts it
yeah.
in the car. She calls him. It's still in the house. No, I don't even have it in the store. It's rolled up, it's in the car. I am taking it to my parents' house. They had another house. And the parents at that point left it to them. They died. They left them the house. So he was going to take it to that house away from their home
Yeah.
and burn it in the
Oh
fireplace.
yeah, I don't blame him. And what happened?
Yep,
Did he do it?
it wouldn't burn.
What?
It wouldn't burn.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
And at this point, he was all disheveled, unraveled. He was not making sense. I had him write a couple of chapters in this particular book, just so you can have a better understanding how unhinged. He was going crazy. The way he was writing it, he was going crazy.
Oh my God, I never heard of such a thing.
First, he puts it to the side of the fireplace.
Yeah.
You know, he's walking around trying to figure out what to do. He was going to
Demonic.
bury it. So he took it outside. He dug, buried it, put it over, put soil over it, soil over it. Comes back to the car. There it is
Oh
on the
my
seat.
God, that's horrible. That is pure evil demonic stuff.
Yes.
Oh my
It just
God.
wouldn't disintegrate. It would not do anything.
Uh, oh my God. So maybe did they think about maybe getting a priest to do a blessing on it or something?
They didn't. He contacted a woman instead who was
Yeah.
like an educator from
Yeah.
a university.
Yeah.
And she said, I have a collection here of things that I like to collect. And they're safe because I have a little tower in my house. And she told him, this is in Maine. She has a house that has a round, it's round, it's like a tower
Yeah.
with a cone roof. and it's got windows all around. And she said to him, she gave him instructions how to get there. And she said, when you get here, I'll explain to you how I'm going to contain it. Put it
Oh.
back in its frame, the way you found it, the
Uh-huh.
way it was given to you. And at
Oh.
this point, he contacted his friends and told them his business almost tanked, his parents passed away.
Oh my God.
Oh, we didn't know anything about that. We just found it at a store and we thought you would like it because blah, 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 and so on and so forth. They never talked to them again. I don't blame them.
Well, yeah, but when you go shop, I've been to so many antique stores. That's all I used to do was
Yeah,
antiquing on the
yeah,
weekends. And you see all kinds of, no, really, you see all kinds
yeah,
of stuff. And actually,
yeah.
I did have some stuff that was haunted. I don't have them anymore. But
Okay.
you do. I mean, you do bring the unwanted with you when you get an antique.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. So what happened with those people?
Well, I mean, he's still okay. I
Yeah.
mean, he now lives in Canada.
Oh,
Um,
good for
yeah.
him.
But the stuff that he went through, it really played with his mind because he was wondering if he was losing it or if his wife was losing it. What was happening with the marriage, the store? They were scarcely breaking even.
What a
And he said it was
shame.
interesting how as soon as he handed it over to another
Yeah,
owner,
yeah.
the marriage stabilized, the business started to pick up again. People weren't as apprehensive to come in. Something was making them apprehensive to come into the antique store.
Oh, it was that thing keeping them away. So, did the lady contain did she contain it?
She contained it. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a story. Oh, well, you really have that's really amazing how you got those stories. How did you get those stories? Did you know all these people?
I knew them. I actually knew Sam because of the two other friends that I had at school. These are all people that I had at one time known. I still keep in touch with two of them. I even wrote a sequel to this book.
You
I
did?
picked up, yeah, I did. It's called The Infernal.
Oh, I
I
saw
renamed,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It was originally going to be written as The Talisman, but Stephen King has a book entitled The
oh,
Talisman. So I renamed it The Infernal. The Infernal is a book of demons.
we,
Dictionnaire Infernal is the actual title of the book. It has 33 pictures, detailed paintings of demons. And what happened to Trey and Vince, okay, they moved out of that beach house and they ended up renting a house in the middle of town, okay? And at that point, when they were renting, they didn't realize they had just moved from one bad area to another infested house.
oh my God.
The attic of the house that
Yeah.
they were living in had a little girl that used to live there when she was 13 years old. She used to sketch from that book.
No,
She was
really?
an artist. And she pulled two friends with her. You know how middle
Yeah,
schoolers are. You
yeah.
tell them, don't do this. They borrowed the book out of the library. And the next thing you know, she's sketching one of them in detail. She is extremely bright, very precocious person, and apparently hated her mother and father.
Mm.
She was conjuring something in the attic.
Conjuring
She used
something
to,
up? What?
yep.
Really?
Well, it was what she was sketching. So she had drawn a pentagram on the floor,
Oh my
covered it up
God.
with carpet, and her two friends would sit there and try and summon. And I don't know if you've
Are
heard
they
of thought forms.
of what?
Thought forms?
Chalk forms?
A thought form.
Oh, a thought form. No, I
Yeah.
haven't.
A thought form, what they call in Tibetan, a tulpa,
Oh, I've heard
Tulpa.
of Tulpa. Yeah.
Yeah. So what they do with them basically is they try to bring to life, something that's a process of thought.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it was out of a book that she found in the library, and it was a particular entity. It happened to be a demon.
Oh my God.
She vented all her anger so that whatever it was could be seen by people outside the house.
Really?
Yep.
Oh
So
my.
I kept in touch with these guys because they
Yeah.
told me that later on, this is what happened to them when they moved into that house.
Oh my God. And you have pictures of these demons?
No,
Oh,
but I can tell you where the book is. There's limited copies of it.
where can I get it?
Well, they're all antique books.
Oh,
But if you go on Amazon,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
it's called Demonologia Infernal. Let me go on Amazon. I have my cell phone on
Oh,
me.
you know what? Well, I'll talk with you on with Facebook.
Okay,
I'll take with you on Facebook. Now, this book, you don't have a copy of it.
I do not.
Okay.
There was no way I would touch that book
Oh, okay.
because
So,
a lot of things have been associated with that book. And I actually know someone who lives in Pennsylvania who has a copy of it.
uh, so who wrote the book?
It was a gentleman. I'm actually Googling it now, and I'm trying to see if I can find the right copy because there's several different copies of it, but it is a French gentleman in the 18th century. What
Hmm.
he did was he described each entity, and there's 33 pictures in the original copy of the book, and it is so intricate.
No, and each one has a name.
Each one has a name, which I
Yeah.
will not name.
No, I know some of them.
And this each one has a reason for being there, kind of like the angels and archangels. They're the opposite. And this girl got her hands on it from a public library of all places.
Oh my God. And so she, okay. So what happened to this little girl?
She ended up in a psychiatric hospital.
Oh
That's what I understand.
no, really?
Yeah, yeah.
So your book, The Inferno, is it about this
The
story?
Infernal is about her. The Infernal is about what happened or transpired in this town in Connecticut because of what she did.
Wow, and there's enough material to write a book on it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, two of my friends were involved in it. So they talked about what happened to them when they rented the house.
Oh my God. Well, I don't want to, I would love to do a show on that, but then you give the book away, and the book needs to be read.
True,
Damn.
true. Yeah.
Damn, you have so many. I mean, you got so many books. I would love to do a show on each one of them. Um, I guess I'll have to get a show called Maria Manalo and her ghost
I only
stories.
have 8. Honestly, I only have 8. I'm starting a 9th one in January. Um, but they're just based on I go on I travel a lot.
I know.
And in the past few years, I've been through some places where, you take an escorted tour, there's other people there. You sit down to dinner, you get to talking about, oh, so what do you do? And so on. And I tell them what I do. And they say, well, I've got a story to tell you about what happened to us. That's usually how it begins.
Oh my God. Would you be able to, could we put a show together of your haunted stories? Maybe take something that are really scary. Like, I mean, everything you have is scary, but take
Yeah.
take some of these things and and tell us about them, and especially about when you were growing up,
Okay.
and that Mothman thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
was going to ask you.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, yeah, let's do another show. Let's do I think I have an opening in November. Let's do,
Okay.
now what were you talking about the Green Eyed Kids? Was it the Green Eyed Kids?
The black-eyed
Black, I
kids.
did a show on the Black Eyed Kids. So
Yeah.
what did you want to tell me about it?
Well, I think it's just very strange that these things are happening around the same time. Um, there's a lot of people out there, and the audience probably understands where this is coming from. Because of all the things that are happening in the world, there's also people who are ending up with attachments.
Oh, I've had
And
3 of them, honey. I've had 3 of them.
you've had three of
I've
them.
had 3 of them.
And I think that there's what they call the term the quickening. There's people on the planet that are probably more spiritual than others, more discerning than others, have mediumistic abilities. And these creatures, these black-eyed kids, or these what they call hatmen, are after them because they want to neutralize them. They don't want it. This is just my own theory that this is happening because they're trying to pick off the people who they know is very aware of what their agenda is. I think the black-eyed kids are demonic. I really just believe that that's what they are. Some people think that they're alien. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I really don't know. I did a show on it. David Weatherly wrote the book on
Oh
Black
yeah.
Eyed
Yeah.
Children. I've had him
Yeah.
on the show, and we did a show
Mm-hmm.
on that. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, a lot of times when I'm doing a show, it doesn't really sink in because I'm thinking about what can I ask him next, or what
Mm-hmm.
picture do I need to show. So I don't always get to really take it in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was really big at the time I was doing that show with him. And for
Mm-hmm.
these kids, they come up to the door and they knock, but you're not supposed to let them in. That's all I
Right.
know.
Right.
Um, but do you have what else so could you have a story on the Black Eyed Kids?
No, not directly. I have someone that I know who had experienced something that he thought was a black-eyed kid phenomenon. And it happened along a riverside. We have a river town down here that's about 7 miles away. And there's a lot of very strange sightings over there. One being the
Oh,
mantis
yes, yes,
creature.
yes.
And this happened a lot in 2008 during the Bucks County flap. But one gentleman that I talked to recently said it's not just aliens. We've also got demonic activity. And I said, can you explain what you mean? And he said that one time he was jogging along the river, and it was kind of like around that same area where this mantis being was seen. Two kids popped out from behind a tree and stood right in the path of where he was going to jog. So of course he paused and like wondered what are these two kids coming from? They were dressed, according to him, in a very shabby way, almost like they were dirty. He said they looked dirty.
Oh, yeah.
They looked very somber. They weren't smiling or anything. And he just kind of like tried to jog around them. And one tried to touch him. He reached out with his hand. And then as he was jogging further down, this is a canal, and he was by himself. People jog there all the time, but this was at dusk, which is when they're seen. They're seen at dusk. They were there again, as if
Mm.
they popped from back there and are now right in front of him. He says, I'm jogging, he said. What are they doing? They're running beside me?
Mm.
What did they do? They just popped up in front of me.
Did he talk to them?
No, but
They
they
don't
did
talk.
talk to him. He paused and he said, can I help you?
Yeah.
And the taller kid was two boys. He said one looked like he was 6 years old. The other one looked like maybe 8 or 11 years old. He was taller. And the taller kid said, we need a ride home.
Oh my God.
And he had this feeling that the kid, for some reason, in the back of his head, something was screaming at him to not respond back to this kid. But
Absolutely.
something in his throat was forcing him to say, sure, let me get my car keys out.
No way.
And
Oh
he
my God.
and I said, well, did you? He said, no, I was
Oh my
fighting with
God.
myself. part of me kept saying, don't do it. They're bad. And the other part of him was compelling him to dig into his pocket, get his car keys out, and jog back to his car.
Mind. He was communicating with his mind. He was taking over his mind and
And
giving
I'm
him that.
bringing that up. Yeah, I'm bringing that up because in the lithograph with
Yeah.
Sam, it was the same thing that was playing in his head for him to keep that thing.
Oh my.
But he was very compelled to get rid of it, to burn it, to bury it. The same thing. It was like a
Oh my
mind
God.
meld.
Oh my God. Anna, how are you around all this paranormal stuff? I've never known anybody like you. I
Oh,
mean, you are living,
that creeps
breathing
me out.
paranormal.
That creeps me out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are fabulous. Oh,
Thank you. Thank
damn.
you.
Oh
I
God.
try.
Oh no. Oh my God. So I just wanted to explain to you those three attachments I got was from paranormal investigating because I used to do that. And that's
Oh.
that's where that came from. And it was bad. They were really bad. You don't know when you have the attachment.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel right. You don't feel like, but you're just nasty. You're a
Oh.
nasty person. You
Oh, geez.
argue. You
Oh.
you you're not happy. It was terrible. And the first time it happened, said, "What the hell is wrong with you? What's wrong with
Mm.
you?"
Mm-hmm.
So I had three of them, and the last one actually jumped out of my body. I felt it jump
Gosh.
out. We
Oh my
had,
gosh.
yes, we had Brother Carlos. He came 3 times. He took them out of me, and the last one he took, he was in the house, and oh my girls, my mods, I have to tell you this one. I never told you this one before. I was there, and Nancy Bowman was part of my paranormal team, and Tim, TW from you know where,
Mm-hmm.
was not you, honey. My people know. I don't want to say
Oh,
his
okay.
name. I don't want to say
Okay.
his name. TW girls, and so I said, Brother Carlos, and this is when Brother Carlos lived in San Jose. He wasn't that far from me, so I said, please come over. I said, we need to be cleansed. We need to be cleared. I said, I know there's something wrong with me, and I know there's something wrong with TW. And
Mm.
Nancy Bowman, who has now since passed away, she wanted to be cleansed as well. So she did her thing, and then I said, take TW next, brother. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
they went out into my living room, and
Mm-hmm.
he was with them. And,
Mm-hmm.
and and after he was done, I said, what happened? He goes, he wouldn't let me clear him. He would not let me clear him. Whatever is in him, he wanted it to stay.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, he would not let it go. So he said I couldn't do it. And then when I had my turn, you kind of go like he kind of like hypnotizes you and puts you in a trance, and I was going in a trance, and then Brother Carlos said, jump out of her body. Get out of her body. You don't belong. Those are similar words. Get out of her body. And I swear to God, this thing jumped out of my body, and I felt
Did you
it.
feel it?
Oh my God! I went like, I just came all these things out of my.
So something
Yes,
did
I
leap
felt it.
out
It
of
went
you.
right out of my body. It was the weirdest thing. I jumped back, and I was crying. Oh, it was terrible. It was just terrible.
Was it you talked about a hospital? Did you get one of them from a hospital?
No, see, I had a paranormal team. We started paranormal investigating in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and we only went to historical locations, and every historical location that we went to was haunted. And then you pick them up. I mean, they just attach to you.
Mm.
And so I had three that attached to me. There were three, obviously there were three different ones
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think they were always the same one. I think
Mm-hmm.
when he did it to me, they were gone, and I would just pick up another one. I guess I was an easy attach person
A
to attach
target.
to,
Yeah.
and I would
Yeah.
pray. I would pray and say, "Oh God, please protect me. Please, angels, protect me." Didn't do a damn bit of good. They still
Mm.
come. They still come.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And what was their nature? One was nasty, right?
They're
Because
all
it was,
they completely change your personality.
oh my.
You become evil. You're not happy. You don't smile. You're nasty to your family. You argue all the time. You're not easy to get along with. Your personality completely changes. It completely changes.
My gosh.
Yes, and that the first time they said, "What the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. You're always fighting and arguing." And then I knew, and that's when I had talked to Brother Carlos, and so and then each time it happened to me, I knew.
Mm.
After the first time, then you know, then you know.
Mm. So
Um,
you knew what to do the second time around.
I, I
You
had
went back to him.
yes, I went back to him. He did. He cleared me three times. And
My
actually,
gosh.
girls, I actually have one on video. I had it somewhere. I have to see if I can find it. Actually, it was four times. I'm sorry because he did this one when we were doing a live show, and
Mm-hmm.
we were using my camera and TW's camera, and I have that video somewhere. I don't know. My last computer dumped on me, so I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if I still have it, but if I do, I might show it sometime. But
Oh
yeah,
gosh. That
yeah,
should be interesting. My goodness.
yeah, it
To
is.
actually see something jumping out.
You don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You can I fell to I pushed I felt like fell to the ground. It jumped
Jeez.
out of my body. The other two
Jeez.
didn't do that, but this
Mm.
one must have been so strong that when it released, it pushed me back. I could feel
Jeez.
it. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, geez, that's so bizarre. You know, it's funny that you talk about that because I met a medium online, and I don't usually believe in mediums because everybody tells you they're psychic or something. And this woman was the real deal. She told me things about my family. I hardly told her anything about my family. I usually keep my family out of the
Oh,
picture. And she was telling me personal stuff about my mother that there's no way that she would have known. So the first thing that came to my head was, okay, she's not necessarily benevolent. This might be coming from an entity of some
oh,
sort,
you thought
like
that?
something that's more negative rather than positive because they can disguise themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but I found out she was very religious. She was really into, and she was the head of a paranormal team. And she went on as time went on. Several months later, she told me what happened to her when she had an attachment. She walked into a prison with the intention of cleansing an area they called the dungeon.
Oh,
Okay, because it was where the really intense prisoners were. The neo Nazis, the
oh
men who had
my
murdered
God.
multiple people. She walked into this cell and she touched this symbol. It was a swastika,
Oh my
and
God.
her hand stuck to the wall.
Oh no, that's crazy.
She turns around, she's looking at the prison cot, and she saw blood flowing from the prison cot
Oh,
and someone yelling at her, "Help me, help me."
wow, that's crazy.
So she tried to cleanse the room, the
Yeah,
cot, and the wall. And whatever it was, she said when she releases a spirit from being stranded on the planet,
yeah.
she sees these sparkles.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yes, I've heard of
Yeah.
that.
And
Yes,
and they fly up towards the ceiling
yes,
and they go upwards.
yes.
But the bad part is when she walked out of that prison, she ended up with an attachment.
Yeah,
So she
Yeah.
told me the whole thing, and I put it in a book.
Oh my God. Now, what book is this? Jesus, which
This
one is
one is
it?
called, it's called Against the Forbidden Darkness.
Oh my God.
And this is
Oh,
a real person. I actually flew out this summer to meet her in person. Her name is Michelle Budke,
oh my God.
and she became a good friend. I spent a
Oh,
whole week with her and shadowed her through 3 haunted houses. And I'll tell you,
oh my
it's
God.
just, yeah.
Oh God. You have to come back. I have a date. I want to, can you come back November 6th? I want to hear some more stories.
Sure.
All right, come back November
Yeah.
6th. I don't want, I want to do your books, but I don't want you, the books are so fabulous. I don't want you to give away all the
The
stuff.
spoiler.
Yeah, well, because they need to buy your book. But maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe you will do a couple. I'll do several shows with you. We'll do maybe 4 or 5 at a time. You
Oh,
want
sure.
to
Yeah.
want to pick
Yeah.
out some good ones, and I want to hear about your family. I want to hear about what happened to you and with that Mothman thing.
Mm-hmm.
We want to hear it.
Every time I talk about that one, and people have asked me about that in past shows, there's something that changes in the room. So, what I was advised to do was pray before the show, because whatever it is, I mean, it's, these things, they're hidden for a while, is what I discover. They're thwarted by the fact that when someone prays and someone keeps praying, they're kind of like pushed away, because you have like an invisible protection, a shield around you when you keep yourself close to God. The minute you start pulling it down a little bit is when they get interested again. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, but I'm telling you, I'm I'm a witness to, even though you ask God and you ask the angels and you say, please put the white light around me, they still come through. They still come through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always, I mean, I've done it to most of the places that I went to, and um I don't know. We could do it. I could put up a disclaimer up there, and if you want to start the show and say something, you're welcome to do it.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
God, I'll get together with you November 6th. I'll get together with you tomorrow, and I want you to come back.
Okay. I
Oh,
will.
oh my God, I had fun with you. So paranormal. I love it.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I
Yeah.
I did, and so did the viewers. You're fascinating. We love you. Oh my God, I think you're my
Thank
best
you.
guest. Thanks, Anna. I'll be in touch with you, and thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your fabulous stories. I mean, what a great storyteller you are. We just love you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Have a good night, and
Yes.
thanks for having me
Oh,
on.
yes, it was a pleasure. It was an honor for me. Thank you so much. I'll get a hold of you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye
Thanks,
bye.
honey. Bye. Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, hold on. Oh my God. I so enjoyed that. Let me see. Let me take this off of here. You know, I love the paranormal. It's nothing like it. That I really enjoyed. I know you guys enjoyed it. She was such a damn good guest. Let me close this one other thing out. Hold on. The which one is open? Let's see. That's open. Let me close. Come on, come on. Close, close, close. I can't get this one thing off. I don't know why. No. Oh, here we go. There we go. Oh, so good. Did you? I really enjoyed it. Did you enjoy the show? I will have her back, you guys. Let me move over here so I can see the let me get my little pumpkin. See my little pumpkin? My little guy. Hey, there you are. Um, did you? I hope you. I know you enjoyed the show because I saw the chat. It was so much fun. She's such a. Oh my God! She's great. So, guys, thanks so much for being here tonight, and uh, I'm just I'm just thrilled tonight. I just, I had so much fun. So everybody, thank you so much. I wasn't able to, I was so far behind today. I wasn't able to, uh, get my act together where I could get onto YouTube and invite everybody. I know there's like Christopher Christ didn't come because he probably didn't know I had a show. So, oh, did you guys see this? Okay, here, let me do this. I have to. I had did okay. Can I play this for you? Let me play this for you. Let me see if I can do it. Um, I I I'm okay. Let me play. Let me see if I can play it.
You are
There we
watching
go.
Paranormal Zone TV, a live podcast. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to give the show a like. Enjoy the show.
I love that. Oh, I promise I won't do any more AI, but I love that. I won't do any more AI. But I love that. I had fun doing that. I had a great one with Anna, and but when I produced it, um all the writing wasn't put on there, so I guess I just don't have the right program. But I promise I won't do AI. And you know what was really disturbing for me, and I felt so bad, is there's this kid that I watch all the time on YouTube, and every once in a while he will put his friend on. He's and Tolcross. He looks very Scottish. I don't know the kid's name. Adam Mockler is the young kid that we like, and then he'll bring his friend on. He's very red hair. I mean, he looks Scottish to the T. And he did. Adam couldn't do the show, so the kid came on. But I looked at it and I said, "Hey, that's not normal for that kid to do what he's doing, because normally you just see like you see me and then he'll do the topic that he's talking about. But this time he had a full body, his hands were moving, his head was moving, and that's not how that kid is. And I knew right away. I said, "Oh my God, that's AI." And I think what's going to be happening is people are going to start doing shows and stuff, and when you have to pay for the good stuff, my stuff is free. So what's going to happen now, I think, is there's going to be a lot of people. All you have to do is put a character up. These expensive AI programs, you can clone your voice. You just send them a recording of your voice. So, and then you type out your script and it's all in your voice. I don't know how to do that. And then the image is your image, and they've got some really high end. They can put you in a really high end image form, like a 4K, and it looks so real. And I think a lot of people are going to be doing that. This way, they don't have to. They can just record it, put it on put it on YouTube, and set it to go live. They make it a premiere. You just hit it and it goes live, and you think the person is real, and they're not. But I see that coming. I see it coming. Of course, I'll never be able to do that because it's not what I want to do. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it, and I hope you don't mind. I'm going to have her come back on November 6th. I want to hear some more of her stories. And I'm telling you, there's, oh my God, there's one book she wrote. It's a true story. It's about this little girl who escaped the Nazis, and she went into the woods to hide from them. And I'll probably buy that book and read it. I don't know if I'll do a show on it, but some of her books are just, I've never seen so many fabulous books. If you go on Amazon and type in Anna Maria Manalo, Manalo, and look for her books, oh my God, they're amazing, amazing. Okay, so Oh, you watch Adam too. We love Adam Mockler. Oh my God, we watch the David Packman, Mockler. I love Keith Edwards. I love him. The girls, talk cross know what I'm talking about. The girls, I've had it. Watch all. Oh, Chris, there you are. I didn't see you. I didn't know if you were there. I didn't. Sorry. I did not be. I could not go into YouTube today. I didn't have a chance to let you guys. There was a live show. But anyway, I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you're here. All right, so let me do some shout outs. We've got. Oh my God, we saw a really good movie last night. Scary. 30 plus days. It has a red picture on it. It says 30 plus, and I can't remember what channel. It might have been Paramount Plus. It's really good. Anyway, we're going over my daughter's on Saturday, and we're gonna have dinner, and then we picked out 3 scary movies, and I can't wait. We're gonna get over there early so we can start watching them. Oh, okay. So let me do some shout outs, and I want to thank my mods. Thanks, honeys. Thanks so much for being here, Chippeteri and Cassandra. Thank you so much. As always, and Tall Cross from Scotland. I guess she's still up. Be safe, Tall Cross, and take care of yourself. And thank you for being here. It's awfully late, honey, for you, I know. And bless your heart for always being here with us. Okay, so let me do some shout outs. Let me go back up here. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that. Oh, man, come on. Top. Let me see. Can I go into live chat? Let's see. Okay, come on. Okay. All right, so once again, Chippeteri and Cassandra, thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Let's see. I am Alpha, Deck Magnet, King. I don't have. King of. Let me get this. Hold on. Let me erase this. Okay. See if I can do it that way. All right. Let me go down here. Oh, here we go. Okay. Come on. Let's go. I am Alpha, Deck Magnet, Christopher Chris, thank you. Sun. Oh yeah, you guys, thanks. Let me see if I can get some more. Oh, how it didn't work out. Okay, there's Charlotte, Alita Miller. Thanks, Charlotte Deck Magnet. I got that. I'm going in a different manner to get the names. Oh God. You guys, did I miss somebody? I'm trying to, it's going backwards. Isn't that crazy? Let me go back. All right, let me see if I can go here. Hucamundo. Alita Miller, you're new. Of course, Charlotte. Tall Cross, my bud. Let's see. Guys, I love you all so much. A big hug to you. Karen Piotti. Oh, yeah, I love Adam too. Why was I too crazy tonight? I just like to have fun. Well, I guests like that, I love. But you know what? I've had so many good guests. I'm comfortable with all of them. That we have some. Well, there was one. There was one because I had to dig the information out of them. I see, like with Anna, I like guests that can just flow. Like with certain guests, I can just sit back and they can take over the show. That's the kind of guests I like. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did Sun. Okay, that's the end. I guess that's the end of that. Okay, guys. All right, so I'm gonna go, and oh my gosh, have a happy Halloween. I don't know if you're gonna celebrate. Um, I'm gonna celebrate. We are gonna celebrate with movies. We love our movies. Um, so let's see. So anyway, happy Halloween to you guys. Be safe. I'll see you on November 6th, and I'm going to have Anna give us some of her really good stories, and I'll talk to her about some of her other books, but they're so good. It's really not fair because she wants to sell her books, and I understand that. I was really happy that she talked about those. But I'll tell you, those objects, those 5 objects that are in that book, the book has like 10 chapters to each item. That book is fabulous. I bought it. I bought it. And if you go to each object, she tells you from the beginning the whole story. So she was short on these because of the show. But if you buy the book and you read each object, you're going to get the whole story, which is unbelievable. That's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, so I guess with that, Halloween's one of my favorite holidays. I've always loved Halloween. So with that, guys, I'm gonna go. I love you guys. Be safe out there. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you November 6th. Okay. Oh, and you know else who's coming in November? On the 20th, I have June Lundgren. We're going to do some unsolved mysteries, unsolved murder cases. She's the psychic I've had on once before. So she's coming back on the 20th, and I don't have anything scheduled for December. I'll see if I can I'll get some guests though and I have somebody already for January. Got somebody new. Um, I'm excited about this kid. I'm real excited about having him on. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go now, and I'll see you on November 6th, okay? Love you guys. Love you, love you. Happy Halloween to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. Good night, everybody. Thank you.